Welcome to Fold in the Cheese. It is your boy K-Troll on the mic on a special nighttime edition of Fold in the Cheese. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you're seeing a very grainy Ethan Gelfand in the wild, Penn State sweats. He's ready to rock. Where are you at, E?
I am currently in Hubbard Lake, Michigan. Yes, bring out your map of the mitten with your hand, and we are all the way up here. Yeah, way up there. Oh, actually, I used the wrong hand.
Pinky side.
That's all right. You're by
pinky side.
the pinky. That's
okay.
We are joined by a special guest. He's not going to be on camera today, but Kemp, why don't you tell what we're doing today? What's the format?
We do have a special guest because we are doing a redraft of the fantasy season. If the season started today, who would you pick and which rounds would you pick them? So we're going to be going through some of the star players up to this point, who we project to be the star players for the rest of the season. We do have a special guest, one Kyle Siegert. Our arch nemesis, Kyle Siegert, is on the pod to do a draft with us. He's not going to be doing much talking because he's in his jammies right now, but he is on the pod. He will be doing draft on Sleeper with us. We've got it queued up right here. We were supposed to have a fourth person, put his kid to bed. It's late. It's nighttime. What are you going to do? It's going to be a CPU. Nick Chubb is probably going to go in the second round. That's okay. We don't care. All right? We don't care.
I hope he gets the all IL team. So we got Nick Chubb, Kirk Cousins probably in the late rounds. Who else we got? Well, I guess now Deshaun Watson. So we'll see.
J.K. Dobbins. Yeah, sure. Let's kick this things off, man. I think it's not probably not going to take that long, but let's go ahead and do it. And your internet's crap anyway, and we got to give the people what they want. Our analysis.
Yeah, we do. Yes, and of course you took the first pick, and Kyle got second. So here I am at 3. Great.
Yep, you can suck it on that. I'm going to go ahead with the first pick. I'm going to very easily just take Christian McCaffrey here as soon as I start the draft for everyone. I think Christian McCaffrey would still be your number
Kyle's
one.
Already groaning.
He's mad. Boom. Done.
Okay. Now let's see. So Kyle's up with the second pick. And yeah, I don't know. Do you go running back here? I mean, as we saw, it's basically Christian McCaffrey and then the world. It's kind of just like the field for running backs. So I don't know. Do you go? Oh, he already took Austin Eckler. Okay. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I think rest of the season is pretty safe. It's a pretty safe bet. He's a stud. He was injured there in a little bit in the middle, so his numbers aren't going to stack up total points-wise to everybody else, but you know what he's going to do rest of the season.
True. Unfortunately, we are in such boonies that my Sleeper app is not updating, so that's great. Can you draft for me if I tell you who it is or no?
Yeah, I can pick who you want.
Perfect. You know what? He's going to be coming back, so give me Justin Jefferson.
All right, there you go. Justin Jefferson. He might be coming back. On the turn, Team 4 CPU took Jamar Chase and Tyreek Hill. Yikes. What a dynamic duo that is.
Yeah.
Those are some CPU picks that I think would still hold up today. Those are still valid rockstar picks.
Yeah, true. I mean, once you get like double crushed wide receiver, I mean, as we kind of saw this season, running back has been kind of funky just with, as we said, top heavy with Christian McCaffrey and then kind of everybody else. So if you can get those stud wide receivers, it's pretty good. And you know what? I'm going to keep riding the wide receiver train. Give me CeeDee Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb. All right. Preseason was number 11 in the rankings. He goes 2.2 in the 4-team draft, so he's actually the 6th pick. We got your boy Kyle over here. I need to get back on my team. How do I get on my team? There we go. Kyle goes with Stephon Diggs.
So Kyle.
Yep. I love that. Pretty good pick, really. So now I'm sitting here thinking, all right, we got running backs still, quite a few of them that I like. Receivers are starting to go pretty quickly here, so maybe I need to make a run on that. I don't know. I feel like at this point, why not? I'm going to go with A.J. Brown, who's been an absolute monster consistently.
I keep forgetting you got the double pick too, so that's kind of deadly. You got A.J. Brown, so you're going to go number wide receiver, or you're going to go another running back? What are you thinking?
I'm actually going to go with another wide receiver here because I got love for my boy Amon-Ra. What a monster.
Yeah, you do.
I'm taking him here. Let's
I just
go.
heard Kyle groan. So I think he was looking at Amon-Ra pretty heavily there. So he just let out a big,
He mad. He mad.
Oh, see, he's not picking right away. So now he has to think. I bet he had him queued up.
Yeah, he's probably like, well, shoot.
Okay, so now does he go running back? Kyle, just I know you can hear me. What are you thinking here? You're going to go another running back, wide receiver?
Running back.
He wants a running back, but he's not sure. I mean, it's just kind of gross. I mean, it's
tight end in our lineup.
Tight end is in our lineup, so you can go with.
Okay, he
David
jumps on
Njoku.
Travis Kelce.
Oh, okay.
Nice pick. That's a great pick so long as Taylor's at the
train.
games.
I know. It's crazy to see his stats when she is there versus when she is not. And so Kyle is the biggest Swiftie right now. So that's great.
Unfortunately, she's embarking on her international tour.
Man,
and won't be there.
That's true. The time change is going to be a beast. So I know I just keep harping on this, the fact that running backs are so gross this year. I mean, I don't want a Josh Jacobs. Jonathan Taylor's kind of the only guy I'm thinking here, but he's still kind of a wild card. You're not sure what he's going to do. But I talked about it. I got to stay consistent. I'm going to get Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes, who has been good, not great, if I'm being honest. He's been like rock solid, but not the number one guy you drafted. He's like a 6 or 7 quarterback, honestly. He's not even performing at the top level. So I personally don't love that pick right here, but I get why you would do it. It is Mahomes.
I get it. Nick Chubb, there he is.
Nick Chubb, there he is. Nick Chubb goes to the end of the third. It's a sentimental pick.
I was thinking of John for a second. He's just been so walked down with, and Arthur Smith is also a wild card, not liking how he uses rookie, uses Trump.
You sound like Voltron currently.
I'm going to go with S3E13 right here because I need a running back, and he has been hot. So give me.
Yeah. So Travis Etienne has actually been an absolute monster this year. That's a great pick.
And once he gets some back-to-back picks, he is groaned.
Had that one circled.
Kyle had that one circled, so watch out.
He had it circled on his sheet. We had draft sheets we all printed out here.
We did. I was talking about trading picks once I learned I had the third.
Yep. You're like, man, hang on. I don't need my flex. Give me
All right, Kyle's going to take all of his draft time.
He's got 1 hour to make this pick, so we'll see who he goes with.
He has a whole hour, and he is going to make it.
Did you pick? Who did you pick?
Yeah, if you wanted to stay, we can just have Kemper do it.
Give me.
He wants Kemper. You're gonna have to click it for him.
Give me Josh Allen.
He wants Josh Allen. Turnover to lose. And actually, Kemper, I do have to pause the draft. Well, obviously you have a pick, so you don't have to pause the actual draft. But
I have an hour.
I do have to talk about this real quick. So in our league, so coming into Monday night, I'm playing Rob, and I'm only down 28, and I have Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen. I'm feeling somewhat confident because they've been a dynamic duo for me. They've been doing really well. And then he had his classic week 1 game of 50 turnovers, no yards. Stephon Diggs was a non-factor, and so I end up losing by 5. But I do have to make mention that prior to Thursday night's game, I needed a wide receiver because Cooper Kupp was on bye. And Rashee Rice on by, so I was hurting. I needed another wide receiver. So I text Ricky, who is in our league, saying, hey, let me make a quick trade so I can get a wide receiver in this week. Give me Johnson. I was trying to make all these fire deals real quick, and it did not end up working out. So unfortunately, I had to pick someone up on the waiver wire, and he and I were going back and forth. I'm like, I don't like it, but I'm going to go with Darnell Mooney. I'm not happy with the choice, but and Ricky was building me up saying, your team's fine. You're fine if he has a dud of a game, like your team's solid. I'm like, I don't know, man. I think this could have been a bad choice. So we were going back and forth, and we channeled our inner anchorman, and it's like, well, we'll see on Monday if Darnell Mooney was indeed a bad choice, because Milk is a bad choice. So what happens? I end up losing by 5 points, and that's with Darnell Mooney getting me 3. So basically, the 2 other wide receivers I was looking at, one was Odell Beckham. I would have gotten, I think, 11 out of him, and I forget the other guy. But at the end of the day, Milk Darnell Mooney was a bad choice.
Darnell Mooney is henceforth known as Milk. There you go. Okay, I love it. A bit of a long story for my taste, but it was pretty good.
The fans want to hear it, Kemper. The fans want to hear it.
All right, so at this point, there are 2 quarterbacks that I am totally comfortable taking, and one for more comedic value than the other. But so I'm going to leave quarterback. I'm going to leave quarterback for now. There's no reason to jump on it because there's only 2 more teams remaining. So
that's true. I hope Team 4 just takes all the quarterbacks now.
I think you were a fool for passing on Jonathan Taylor, so I'm going to go with him. I've got him in my league, and that's JJ Taylor, not who I wanted. I've got him in several leagues, and he actually has been rock solid. He's been very consistent. He's been getting much more workload each week. It's been increasing, so I'm going to go ahead and jump on that without even thinking twice.
Kemper, I think that's a little bit of an ownership fallacy here. You have a little bias towards your guy. You're valuing him way higher, so that's what I think is happening.
Ownership fallacy. Is that what you were trying to come up with the other day when you were trying to think of your own?
And I'm not going to lie, I can't even take credit for it right now. I just have old whispers here in the background just saying it. I'm like, well, since he's not on camera, I'm gonna take it.
Ownership fallacy. Okay, nice try. That's good. That works. And I gotta disagree with you once again because Josh Jacobs has been also rock solid, especially since they fired Josh McDaniels. They are pounding the rock. He's 20 carries a game. The guy's getting 100 yards every game and a touchdown. What's not to love about that? That's a steal.
Sure. Steal. Once again, Kyle groaned, so we were just stealing all of his picks.
No, that was a you fool groan.
Oh, he did a you fool groan. Sorry, I misinterpreted the groan.
So you fool. Got it. I forgot that Kyle knows everything. Last 3 weeks for Jonathan or for Josh Jacobs in our PPR league, 16.8, 21.8, 13.7. For my third running back, I will take that all day.
Okay, so Kyle is currently up. He has one of everything. So he's kind of looking to
fill the rainbow squad.
He's checking all the boxes, which nothing wrong with that. And he's wincing. So I don't know. Oh, he made the pick. Devontae Adams. Here I will groan on this one.
Adams. I'm going to groan on that one because I do feel like Cooper Kupp was probably a better pick there. Personally, Devontae Adams has been such a wild card the last several weeks. I don't know. I don't love that. Yeah. I mean, I love his early production for sure. I don't feel great about what he's been doing lately, and I don't know what to attribute it to, but I don't know. I feel like Adam Thielen might have been a better choice as well. It means hanging out there. Just saying.
Well, it's interesting you say Cooper Kupp. My app is working now, so I was able to actually make my pick, and I was eyeing him. I was hoping he would make his way back. He did. I'm very happy with my wide receiver room. I was kind of eyeing Saquon. I know the Giants have been struggling ridiculously amounts on offense because they're on their 4th string quarterback who still lives at home with his mom, and she still does his laundry and all that stuff. But, I mean, obviously they're just going to feed him the rock as much as they can. But, anyway, Team 4 got him along with Jalen Hurts. So I know you were probably looking at him, but you're happy with, the 4th quarterback that's going to come your way. So I know you weren't too upset about that. But right now I do need another running back. So with that, this guy – man, I'm kind of stuck between 2, and I'll talk it out. I'm looking at Tony Pollard here, but he hasn't really shown me anything this season to really warrant it. So I don't know if I want to do it here. And the other guy is Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, when David Montgomery was out, he was an absolute stud. David Montgomery came back this week. They both had monster games. I don't know if they can sustain that, but I'm going to go with the wild card here, and I am actually going to take Jahmyr. I just like his upside.
Yeah. I actually prefer that pick to Pollard right now. I think Gibbs has shown you more. I honestly prefer Montgomery to Pollard as well right now. I think you could take either one of them. So that's not a bad pick at all.
Okay, so once again, Kyle, picked running back early and then has stayed away from it since. He does not have to worry about tight end.
At least one more.
All right.
He goes with Derrick Henry, who, other than this past week, who was complete garbage this week, he has been really good otherwise, and he has a great schedule remaining for the rest of the season. I like Derrick Henry, of course, and I love the stiff arms. Giddy up.
Yes,
and
in
so,
one of our Pool Boys videos, we did have this stiff arm badge, and that was great to see. It was just fun watching Derrick Henry stiff arm clips. There's honestly like half an hour of clips, so it's spectacular.
You can watch him on repeat, man. It's fantastic. He has the absolute best stiff arms. So because of this weird format, we've only drafted one tight end so far. And so I've got my pick of pretty much everybody. I did not expect that Mark Andrews would be sitting here for me, so I feel obligated to go ahead and grab him. But I will tell you, there have been some decent tight ends that emerge, particularly from the rookie class with Sam Laporta and Dalton Kincaid. So I feel like either of those guys would have been really good. Hawkinson would have been really good as well. I feel good about any of those. Dalton Schultz, you've talked about him as like a really solid weekly starter. I like that as well. I've got two options here at quarterback, though. I actually got several, but I feel like Justin Herbert. I feel like Justin Herbert has lived up to the hype and has been really good this year. Very good, consistent every week. Definitely the kind of guy you want to go with. But I got to tell you, I'm kind of feeling my guy. So once again,
please tell me you're taking Josh Dobbs. Please tell me you're taking Josh Dobbs.
Give me CJ Stroud, baby. Let's go. CJ Stroud on fire. The rest of the season, CJ Stroud is a monster. And I would recommend somebody who needs a receiver to take Tank Dell because he's also a monster. Jalen Waddle, trash pick. Should have taken Tank Dell.
He's just all in on the Texans. Not the running backs, but everyone else on the Texans is fine. So I have to take my tight end here. I was thinking about two names, mentioned both of them. I was looking at TJ Hawkinson and Sam Laporta. Ironically, I have both of their teammates. So I was like, does it steal from the other one? So I'm actually going to go with one Samuel Laporta because I don't want Jefferson to kind of have to compete with Hawkinson, even though Hawkinson has kind of been a monster for Josh Dobbs. I am going to end up going with Sammy. Where is he? Laporta. Give me that.
Yeah. Last pick takes Kittle. I think Hawkinson's a better pick than Laporta, honestly. And truthfully, I feel like Kincaid is a rocking pick as well. I think he's going to come on. He's already been really solid the last 3 weeks. I think he's going to have a monster finish to the season. And I think long-term he's going to be a stud as well. But there's our teams. I go Stroud because I know Herbert's going to be sitting on the waiver wire if I need him later. So no big deal. In case Stroud starts struggling, I've got him covered. It's all good there. So let me tell you my crew here. This is a redraft, mid-season redraft. I had the number one pick of 4. So these are going to be absolute beast teams. I got CJ Stroud at quarterback, who is in the MVP race right now. Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor at running back. A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown. A lot of Browns in my receiving room. Mark Andrews at tight end. Josh Jacobs at the flex. Giddy up.
That's pretty dirty team. As you said, they were with super teams. All right, now we got Kyle, who sat in the number 2 slot. So at his quarterback, he's got Josh Allen. By running backs, Austin Eckler and Derrick Henry. And then his wide receivers are Stephon Diggs, Devonta Adams, Jalen Waddle with Travis Kelce basically as his 4th wide receiver. So obviously Waddle going in his flex and Kelce as his tight end. So I wasn't so sure on the Waddle pick. Again, if we're doing the redraft, he hasn't been as strong this season, which has kind of been a little disappointing, I think, for his owners. But, he's always solid. But I don't know. I think there were some other picks there, Kyle. And then I was drafting from the 3 spot. My quarterback is one Patrick Mahomes, and then running backs. This is I probably had the weakest running back rooms of the 4 teams, but that's all right. I got ETN, who's just been so hot right now. Hansel, so hot right now. Hansel, Jahmyr Gibbs, and then my wide receivers cannot be touched. Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, tight end Sam Laporta, and then at my flex I got Cooper Kupp. So I'm pretty happy with that.
I love that. And then team injury over here has gone with Jalen Hurts at quarterback. And Nick Chubb, starting running back, Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley, Tyreek Hill, and Jamar Chase with George Kittle at tight end. These 4 teams are all completely stacked. It's a 4-team draft. But it was interesting to talk through at least how some of these names shifted from early season to now. I mean, anyone in the second round in this draft would be a first rounder in a 10 or 12 team league. Anyone in the first 3 rounds would be a first rounder in a 12 teamer. So it is interesting to see some different names. Like I think of AJ Brown and Amon Ra, both that were, second, third round guys that are both first rounders here. CD Lamb was always kind of at the turn of the first round. So some interesting names kind of moved back or moved forward, I guess, quite a bit. And then some moved back as well. So
it's interesting to see just some of those risers and fallers. And once again, I feel like this kind of also ties into our segment where we talk about blind resumes. You sometimes are gravitating towards those big names, but as the first half of the season showing you, it's not necessarily always going to be those guys. I mean, running backs have dropped so far. It's Christian McCaffrey. Eckler now coming back from injury certainly helps, so that's why he's still up there. But then after that, you just got to wait, just because, I mean, the next running back picked was you with Jonathan Taylor. And granted, in the original draft, he was still holding out and the whole drama, so he fell way far down. But he's getting back into form. ETN, I think, was a big riser. Bijan fell a little bit just because he struggled with Arthur. So, yeah, it's just kind of interesting to see these risers and fallers. It was good. It was fun. It was the worst.
Yep, I completely agree. Anything else to cover from the NFL this week? Because you are on a hunting trip, and as you are in the wilderness, your internet has not been very well established. But anything else to cover here from you or the pajama man in the background?
I just had to talk about those Lions, man. I think one of the more entertaining games of the weekend. I mean, going into LA Chargers and getting that big win. Also showing, once again, we talked a little bit about it, that they can handle Montgomery and Gibbs both having a big role in the offense. I think that's one of just more fun offensive teams. So, yeah, I think they're going to be a fun team to watch. Although what's crazy, Josh Dobbs is a very competent quarterback and now has the Vikings sitting at 6-4. So the Lions have to kind of be looking in the rearview mirror a tiny bit going, is this astronaut going to make a push and challenge us? Kyle, 2 thoughts on the Lions and Vikes. Go. Pretenders. He says the Vikings are pretenders. Send them into space. They're fine.
They're winning without Justin Jefferson. How is that a pretender?
That's true. Valid point. So I think that's going to be a fun race at the end. Space race, if you will. But
space race. So what I like about the Lions, real quick, I'll chime in on that, because I feel like they can win either type of game. Like they came in this year and their defense was supposed to be much improved, and it was much improved last year with the Aiden Hutchinson. Obviously, they're getting better. So you think like, okay, their defense is going to be keeping people in low-scoring games, and their offense we know is pretty potent. But they're in a complete shootout against the Chargers this week, and they still managed to find a way to win. So that's impressive to me. On the flip side, they have not beaten many teams that are over 500, so that's questionable. I mean, you got to be fair, there aren't many teams over 500 in the NFC, but they haven't beaten that many great teams. So you got to wonder how they're going to fare against someone like San Francisco or Philly or somebody like that in the NFC. But they're definitely a top 3 NFC team in my mind. I think Dallas in the conversation, San Fran and Philly, they're all kind of there. You feel less confident. I feel less confident in the Lions because they haven't seen it before. They don't have the elite defense the other 3 do have, but they've got some players on defense. And so, I don't know. I'd love to see them shut people down a little bit more.
The one other thing I'll just say about the Lions is with Dan Campbell, he has balls of steel. I mean, how many times has he gone for it? In that Chargers game alone, I think he went for it on 4 or 5 times. And, they're running all these bags of tricks. So he kind of adds that wild card. And you say they haven't been there before, which is very true. But with him at the helm, it's basically like that doesn't matter because he's still going to do him. He's still going to make those bold moves and not be conservative. Play not to lose. That's not his style. So I think that's kind of a little bit of an X factor, a little bit of a wild card. So we'll just kind of see. It could bite him in the butt, kind of always going for it. But right now it's exciting and fun to watch. So we'll see.
I like that wild card. I don't like it when Brandon Staley does it in LA because he's terrible at it. But I do like it when Dan Campbell does it. What I will say is like maybe – so you think of Kansas City last year and their defense was underperforming all year. But when the playoffs came around, they really locked down. I would be really curious to see if the Lions can do the same thing because if they can – the offense is good enough to get them to the big game. If that defense can lock down when it matters most, it can make a big difference.
Ending on one crazy stat. So the Lions have won 2 primetime games on the road, which has only been done 6 times in NFL history. The other 5 teams to do it have gone to the Super Bowl. Just saying. Very minute, very weird, small stat, but Lions country, here you go. So
Lock it
with
up.
that in mind,
Guaranteed.
watch out for these Lions. It's going to be a great race in the NFC. And until next time, keep on folding.
Fold it.